I love that Charlie Kirk is trying so hard to be in on the joke in this South Park episode. I don't think you understand what this is. This is not a friendly roast between friends. They are making fun of you because you are a hack, morally contemptuous loser. It's very much giving like this meme. No.
Charlie Kirk is not at all upset about the South Park episode. Not even a little bit. He thought it was so funny that he's selling this super cool Master Debater shirt on his website because the show's so cool and he's cool and it's so funny. He thinks South Park is so funny and he's so funny too, and he's so glad that he was in on the joke the whole time.
So who's gonna be the one to tell Charlie Kirk that we're laughing at him, not with him?
Because for the last day, he's making it seem like he's in on the joke. Charlie, you are the joke.
So apparently, appealing to TDS or Trump derangement syndrome has been at least the goal in the first 2 episodes of this season of South Park. Now, I know they are, in general, people say an equal opportunity offender. I mean, Joe Biden was president for 4 years and they made exactly 0 jokes about him. Now, I know they were kind of high on hiatus there. I think they had about a dozen episodes. So that was 12 episodes, 0 jokes at Biden's expense. And who could forget all those sick burns that they deployed against Barack Obama in his 8 years of presidency? Remember that episode where he was like the super cool Ocean's 11 jewel thief? Yeah, awesome burn, South Park. I mean, the idea that, occasionally we'll get a little nugget, in the normal world. But as far as like what South Park has to say politically, it's basically ever since the Golden Escalator, they've basically been on TDS bend. That's okay because the episodes that in general don't focus on Trump are still pretty funny. I thought the second episode of the season was much better than the first. I thought, making fun of Kristi Noem was funny, Ice Barbie, all that kind of stuff. That was all funny to me. So, I mean, if they would just go back, they would go further away from politics. I think that would be ideal. Kind of the best political thing that South Park ever said was probably like from one of their first 5 seasons when it was a giant douche versus a turd versus a giant douche or something like that. That's what like I felt was peak political commentary from South Park because it was just so true and so great that everyone could relate to it. Well, apparently a bunch of leftoid creators are raging because people on the right aren't mad. They're mad that they're mad that Charlie Kirk isn't mad. They're mad that ICE is using the South Park episode to promote. Liberal creators are fuming that conservatives, specifically Charlie Kirk, are not mad over the South Park making fun of them. This is what you get when you court the TDS crowd. These people they're not really fans of South Park. They are fans of, being deranged.
I love that Charlie Kirk is trying so hard to be in on the joke in this South Park episode. I don't think you understand what this is. This is not a friendly roast between friends. They are making fun of you because you are a hack, morally contemptuous loser. It's very much giving like this meme. No.
I mean, is it though? It seems like to me that he's absolutely not upset about it. Like he's just moving on and going about his business. I guess like obviously Trump had his little White House come out and say the show's irrelevant. But I mean, for the most part, last week's episode was ICE and ICE was just posting memes from the show.
Charlie Kirk is not at all upset about the South Park episode. Not even a little bit. He thought it was so funny that he's selling this super cool Master Debater shirt on his website.
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he do that? Like, that's exactly how you disarm these people. This is what I'm saying, where like people are like, Jeremy, South Park's always been equal opportunity offender. No, it has. I mean, maybe 15 years ago, 10 years ago even, okay? But, they've removed a lot of episodes over the years. And as I previously mentioned, they really never lambasted Obama. Even if, look, I voted for Obama, okay? But the guy wasn't perfect. And, maybe they could have talked a little bit about his drone strikes or some of the other negative things about his presidency. Not once did they really go after Obama in any meaningful way. But again, I'm okay if the show doesn't make fun of any president and just stays apolitical and just talks about cultural issues. That would be better.
Because the show's so cool and he's cool and it's so funny. He thinks South Park is so funny and he's so funny too. And he's so glad that he was in on the joke the whole time.
So who's going to be the one to tell Charlie Kirk that we're laughing at him, not with him?
Because for the last day, he's making it seem like he's in on the joke. Charlie, you are the joke.
So Charlie Kirk is so deeply upset by the fact that
Cubs fan. How's that division lead? Oops.
South Park made fun of him last night in their new episode, that he spent so much time talking about it on his new podcast. He tried to pretend like he thought it was so funny and that it was such an honor to be made fun of by South Park. He even made his new profile picture his South Park character. But the reality is, they weren't just laughing with him, they were laughing at him.
The South Park is going to be doing an episode about me tonight, slaves. I mean family that I'm totally not keeping at this house against their will.
I mean, this is what I'm saying, that the South Park is so leftoid coded, okay? Where are the videos of people on the right melting down? This video was meant to pander to their leftoid fan base. And if they're not careful, like, people who are pretty much down the center like me are just going to tune out completely. Now, you can't pretend that the episodes haven't been huge hits. The viewership on these last two episodes in South Park's kind of much anticipated return to regular episodes have been huge. And it's entirely possible that this Wednesday night, South Park will put out an episode that will make fun of these same, liberal meltdown car video people. And that's kind of what you hope for. What the left can't understand is, the far left, like these dorks, okay? They can't understand that people who voted for Trump understand he's kind of a meme and understand the jokes made at his expense and can even laugh at them. But if they're 100% exclusively about him, then they tune out. Oh, by the way, I'm going to show you the real reason why these people never made fun of Joe Biden. I assure you, you might not have seen this, and it's going to be pretty clear once you see it. But let's keep going through these people.
Fucking absolute annihilation of an episode of you and your entire fucking shtick is on brand. Every fucking video, you're just trying. No, I'm in on the joke, guys. Anyway, I guess just continue.
All he's done is grow. By the way,
This is tough to watch, Charlie.
It's honestly kind of pathetic how hard Charlie Kirk is trying to save face after this South Park episode.
Is he though? Is he? Let's just take a look. I assume he must have lost. He must have lost a ton of. He must have lost a bunch of Twitter followers, right? Or YouTube subscribers, since he got totally crushed. I would imagine. Why can't I check Twitter? What happened to that? Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. Only YouTube? Well, this is generally a little more. I think it's the Charlie Kirk show, maybe. Whatever. He's not losing subs or Twitter followers. He's only growing. And again, the fact that they're melting this hard, why aren't you more mad at it?
First thing about humor, if it bit him in the ass. They support and worship Donald Trump, a man so thin-skinned.
Why are they in their cars all the time?
He celebrates Stephen Colbert getting fired.
Good. I'm glad. Everyone should celebrate Colbert. Here you go. For 28 years, South Park was brave enough to tackle Scientology, Muhammad, political correctness, trans issues, Catholic Church bad behavior, anti-Semitism, race and police misbehavior, cancel culture, abortion, the coof and the jab, and of course, the most famous, influential, and most powerful man on earth, Donald Trump. But what topic scared them so much that they didn't go near it? The Biden administration. 12 episodes and 8 specials, and they made not a single mention of it. Biden freezing up on camera, Biden wandering around lost on camera, his demented ravings during speeches, his meltdown at the debate, his trans health and human services secretary, his gay transportation secretary, his first black female VP, her word salad speeches, his way out of his depth first black lesbian press secretary, his support for child castration, parents castrating their own kids, men terrorizing women in women's spaces. 4 years of prime comedy gold material, and they did not touch a single bit of it. And I know this because I was waiting for all of it. But now they're back, and every week is the Trump administration. So what does this tell us about how stunning and brave they really are? And like, again, I'm not going to quote unquote boycott South Park. I'm going to give them a few more episodes. And if they either get out of politics or go back to kind of like some funny stuff, I just don't watch more. I don't want more political satire. I just don't. I'm over it. And like, here's the thing for everyone that says they're both sides. They're not. Okay, I just gave you a great list. Also, here's Greg Price. If you wanted to know why South Park never took swings at Joe Biden the same way they're doing at President Trump, the show's lawyer also just so happens to be the guy who funded Hunter Biden's legal defenses. That's who the show's lawyer is. Kevin Morris, Hunter Biden's, quote, sugar brother, who's given millions to President Joe Biden's troubled son, but made bank through working with the South Park creators. That is why. That's why. Look at this. Like, Chrissy Noem changed her profile picture to the South Park character. Democrats are losing the culture war bigly. And look at this. So much so that it triggered South Park to update their own profile photo in response. The South Park creators are raging that people on the right aren't more offended by this. Liberals be offended that Charlie Kirk isn't offended by South Park was not on my bingo card. Like, this is how big of losers these people are.
So who's going to be the one to tell Charlie Kirk that we're
Profile picture to making shirts now with the, and you're not doing it right. I'm gonna be honest.
The left is getting exactly what they need to support a show, which is like endless partisan hackery, and they're still butthurt. They're still mad. They're like, why aren't you more mad? That's literally the meme they're doing. Why do you even bother pandering these people? South Park should put out an episode this Wednesday and absolutely ignore politics. Now, you might have thought that I was going to say roast Biden or Kamala Harris, but I don't care about those people. Let's get back to what made South Park hilarious, and it wasn't endless political episodes. And that's really what their core fan base wants. And if they stick to this Trump meme for like this, criticizing Republicans for the entire season, they're going to lose a huge chunk of their viewership. This is not me threatening anything. This is me stating a fact that we've seen play out over and over and over again. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.